Hey guys, if you're enjoying the videos so far, don't forget to drop a like and subscribe. I'd really appreciate it. And don't forget to follow me on Twitch. I'll leave a link in the description below. I wanted to make a video today to show you guys my 10 basic rules for Warzone in Call of Duty. Rule number 1 is going to be plate up. You're going to want to fill your plates as soon as possible. You're going to want to keep at least one spare plate on you at all times. Obviously, you want to have up to 5 plates. That's the most you can carry, but definitely carry as many plates on you as you can. Make sure your whole team is full. Make sure everybody has 3 plates on them all the time, and at least one spare if possible. If you get into a fight and say you get shot a couple times and you break a plate or 2, or maybe all 3, you want to back up and put more plates in before you continue that fight, because if you get shot again, you're pretty much done. You almost have no way to come back from that. So if you get shot, if you lose a plate, or if you lose a couple plates, always plate back up before you try and run in and continue your fight. I just want to talk quickly about Recon Contracts. I prefer to use these closer to endgame. So the Recon Contracts look a little bit different than the crate contracts or the bounty contracts. So the Recon Contracts will look like a little flag, and basically you'll go pick up the contract, and then you'll have to go kind of capture a position for a little while, and you'll hang out there for a minute, and then once that's done, it'll drop you a little bit of stuff. Like you might get some ammo and like a plate or 2 or something like that. But once that's done, it'll show you where the next circle's gonna be, which is extremely helpful end game, so you know whether I should go up this hill and get the high ground up to the left, or should I go up that hill and get the high ground up to the right. Rule number 3 is going to be pick your battles. And it means just that. Don't start a fight that you're not going to win. So if you have an SMG, don't start a fight across a field with somebody, because they might have a sniper rifle or they might have an assault rifle, and that's just not going to go well for you. And the same thing goes for rushing. So don't rush into a building when you have an assault rifle or you have a sniper rifle, for instance. The first one into the building wants to have an SMG, because you're going to be able to throw bullets down a lot faster than the assault rifle will be able to. And you'll be able to move quicker and faster in a smaller area. I wanted to add one more thing for rule 3 is headshots. If you're coming up behind an enemy, or you see an enemy and they haven't seen you yet, don't shoot at them as soon as you can. Even if you want to engage with these enemies, you're going to want to wait for the right time, the right moment, and as you play the game, you'll learn when those moments are for you. For me, I like to wait until I can get a headshot or something and potentially take one person out right off the bat, because then at the very least it's 3 versus 2, and that makes it a lot easier for us. Our 4th rule is going to be get cash early. Cash is king. Cash lets you buy everything you need. You're going to want to be able to buy a loot crate. You're going to want to be able to buy a self-revive. You're going to want to be able to buy armor plates if you need them. If a buddy goes down, you're going to want to be able to buy them back. So first things first, you want to get as much cash as you can right off the bat, whether that's with bounties or with contracts, whatever you can do to get money. The earlier you get your money, the earlier you'll be able to get your loadouts, which will make your lives a lot easier early on in the game, as opposed to having to wait till late game, potentially getting shot by people who already have their loadouts while you're trying to go to a buy station to get your loadout drops. But if you've already got your loadouts on you, everybody in your team has the gear that they like to use, going to a loadout drop to get a UAV or something is going to be a lot more easier for you. Our next rule is going to be loadout drops. These are also key in your game. I'm going to be making a video later on about what my favorite loadouts are to use in Warzone and what I like to use in multiplayer and whatnot. But for now, that's not really important. We're going to guess that you already have a loadout that you like, and you have the guns that you're comfortable with. There's not a whole lot to say here then, other than what I've said, except that loadouts are super important, and you want to get you and your team loadouts as soon as you can. Our next rule is UAVs. UAV is useful for seeing who's around you. This comes in handy late game, especially if you're a full squad, say a team of 3, all activate a UAV at once. It becomes an advanced UAV, so you'll be able to see where people are looking, and it'll be real time as opposed to like the blip. Right, but UAVs are super important in Warzone because if you can see where people are, you can make better judgments on where you're going to move, and you will, I guess, in turn have better communication with your team because you're going to know where the players that are close to you are. It's going to give you a great advantage, and they're fairly cheap, so use them. The next one is going to be self-revives. Self-revives are just as important as your loadout drop, in my opinion. Someone shoots you and your team can't pick you up, you'll be okay. So if you're up on top of a building watching your buddies down, trying to get, say, a loadout drop or a buy station or something, anything, whatever, you're watching them, they're far away from you. If you get picked off from somewhere, they're not going to be able to reach you in time, and you're going to die. You'll have to go to the gulag, or if you've already been there, you'll be out, and your team is going to have to buy you back. But if you've got a self-revive on you, you'll be able to crawl somewhere that you're safe, you're not being shot from, and potentially pick yourself up. So I'm going to play you a clip right now where somebody actually won a round against us with a quick revive, and he completely caught me off guard. So you can see I just knocked somebody right there, and this is the last guy in the game right now. It's me and him, and I come around the corner. I get him with the last bullet in my gun, and he's laying down. I think I got him, so I put a couple shots into him. Try to go get some more gear because at the time I didn't know he was the last one. I was kind of confused, and if you watch, you'll see that you might have to back the clip up a little bit, but you'll see that he was giving himself the self-revive, and when I was shooting him, I watched him lay down, and I thought that was the kill animation. But no, that was him picking himself back up, and he turned around and killed me and got the win from it. So definitely buy one if you have the money for it. So our last rule is just as important as the first one, but I left it for the end because it may not apply to everybody. A lot of you may already be following this rule, and if you are, great. If not, definitely listen to this video. The last rule is going to be teamwork and communication. Your team needs to know where you're at, what you can see, what guns you have, how much ammo you have, where you're going. Like, you need to tell them everything, because if you know what's going on and your team knows what's going on, you're going to have the advantage over the team that doesn't. When you come into a building as a team and there's 3 of you walking into a door with SMGs drawn, and you got 1 or 2 guys in a hallway, if all of you guys light them up at once, there's a good chance you're going to win that fight. But if you come in there as a team of 2 and then 1 guy slowly behind you, yeah, you know what? You're probably going to lose that. And you're probably going to lose every single time. Definitely stick together, work as a team, and communicate. Follow all these tips and you'll find yourself a little more successful at your Warzone games. If you enjoyed these, please let me know. If you didn't, also let me know. Leave a comment below. Thanks.